Former Pasco police officer already accused of sexual assault. Is he the key to a 30-year-old Spokane murder case? Well, Spokane major crime detectives say a former Pasco police officer is now a suspect in a cold murder case involving a Sprague Avenue prostitute. Investigators say they have now linked Richard J. Aguirre's DNA to a 1986 Spokane homicide after the former officer was implicated in a recent sexual assault in the Tri-Cities. Police think Aguirre is the man who strangled Ruby Ross and left her body in an industrial park at Fisk and Ferry. KXY4's Jeff Humphrey working for you. And Jeff, police still don't have enough evidence to arrest Aguirre on a murder charge.
And I kind of think, Nadine, that's why we are hearing about this case, even though it is still very much under investigation. Are there other women out there who have had similar violent experiences with Aguirre? Did he actually tell someone about what happened along these railroad tracks some 30 years ago? It was 1986 and Top Gun, the #1 film at the box office. Ronald Reagan was our president.
And liftoff of the...
And the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded seconds after takeoff. Just 2 days later, Ruby Doss's body was found here a few blocks north of Sprague Avenue.
A transient came upon her, found her, called police, and then patrol responded out, and then, of course, major crimes.
Investigators say they recovered biological evidence at the crime scene, but not enough for 1986 technology to identify a suspect.
You have blunt force trauma, typically to the head.
We did this story with Detective Kip Hollenbeck when he started reworking the cold case in 2008, but it wasn't until about a month ago that Hollenbeck got the high-tech break he needed. DNA recently collected from former Pasco police officer Richard Aguirre matched DNA from Doss's murder.
Once that happened, we started doing some further investigation. We did execute a search warrant at his residence down in Pasco, collected evidence, and we'll continue to follow this investigation up and prepare it for a court case.
Police say Aguirre lived in Spokane at the time of Doss's killing and is currently a suspect in a 2014 sexual assault in the Tri-Cities.
We're asking that if anybody has information, specific information with this case, or has had interaction with Mr. Aguirre that is similar in nature to this, that they get a hold of us and fill us in on this information.
Nadine, Aguirre would only be about 22 years old the night that Doss was murdered and her body dumped. Her family, which includes an adult daughter in Memphis, Tennessee, very grateful to hear about these new developments in this cold case.
I'm sure they are, Jeff. So what type of evidence are police looking for to further their investigation?
Well, they're not telling us what type of evidence they took out of his house in Pasco, but we do know that killers sometimes like to keep trophies of these events. They may have also looked through his photo albums because they want to see what type of car was he driving back in 1986, because there is a witness out there that actually saw the victim get into a vehicle the night that she was killed. Reporting live in East Spokane, Jeff Humphrey, KXLY4.